There we are. Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's Sunday, and yes, we are live at the ocean way out east on Long Island. I figured I had to check in on you guys, see how everyone is doing. Yeah, man, it's a bit foggy behind me. Cue Fogcat on your home of rock and roll. No, actually, let's cue into the Mystic Van Morrison. It's perfect, right? Look at that fog. Can't even see the ocean. You can hear the waves, which is kind of cool. Very, very moist. A lot of moisture in the air. A lot of ladies don't like the word moist. They hate the word moist. So I'll say moist a lot more. Dude Guy is here. What's up, Dude Guy? You're first on the whole damn thing. We got Jerry, a regular. Yeah, we're doing it. Hey, F you, seagull. Yeah, F you to the seagulls for real, man. Not only did they dive bomb our dinner the other night. Talked about that. You can check it out for yourself. All the daily live streams now on my podcast feed, Opie Radio. But I had a seagull dive bomb a lovely barbecue dinner out here. And then, I told you about the garbage company, and they're not picking up my garbage until Monday. I could have paid $45 for them to come out here just to pick up 2 bags of garbage, but that wasn't going to help the kid. So the garbage is piling up. I mean, piling up. And the seagulls decided to start ripping apart the bags to get at food in my driveway. So, yeah, Jerry, F you to the seagulls. What's up, Jennifer First? Good morning to you. Got the Nick. We got the Darren Albertson. We got Chris Marks. What's up, Chris? We got Winnie. How are you, Winnie? Got Bill White. We got the Gambler off the Twitter. The first saying first time, long time. Well, thank you, Mr. Gambler. But we should be playing Into the Mystic, Van Morrison. This weather's perfect for that song, right? And if you want a little treat, you gotta check out The Last Waltz, and you gotta check out Van Morrison's appearance. Or you gotta look for Van Morrison in his tight pants, trying to do high kicks during The Last Waltz. It's one of my favorite rock and roll moments of all time. You got to see it for yourself. So make sure you search that out. All right. Yeah, it's a hazy day. I think it's a hazy day of summer. Yeah, the fog is just ridiculous out here. Actually, we can finally see the dune behind me and my tomato plant. A mere 10 minutes ago, I couldn't see the tomato plant. I couldn't see the dunes. But now it looks like it's going to slowly burn off as the morning goes on. So there you go. Opie, I had a bad day yesterday. Watched the famous Patrice laugh you filmed and made it all better. Well, I'm glad I could help you out there. I'm not Gio. Thank you very much, brother. Hope today's a little better for you, right? You're still in the game, right? You're still in it. You're still in it to win it. That's important. I think so. We got Frank. What's up, Frank? What if I walked up onto that deck and kicked your ass? Well, Frank, you would have a major fucking problem. What are you talking about? Let's get rid of Frank. Unfortunately, because of lunatics, I pay a lot of money for security. You're not going to just walk up on this deck and kick my ass. What are you talking about? Oh, great. Now I got to call the cops. That's wonderful. Oops, they're long sleeves. Ugh. Yeah, man. Too hot. No, Vinny, it's not hot out here. It's not hot out here at all. It's 72 degrees. There's a bit of a chill in the air. I know in the city and Philly was way up into the 90s, but out here, man, we've been on the chill side still, which is kind of nice. What's up, Sarah? Good Sunday morning to you. Good morning to you. Right back at you, Sarah. Yo, GH. What's up, JE? One person described Patrice laugh as him being shot out of a cannon and disappearing into the distance. That's a perfect way to describe the famous Patrice laugh when. All right, Bobo, we learned that this guy, Bobo, that used to do the Opie and Anthony show on a pretty regular basis, and he gave us some great, great stuff. We learned that, if you talk about the Mets, nothing's going on down below, but then you talk about girls, and he instantly had a lot going on down below, and we couldn't wait to show off this talent to Patrice O'Neal, and he just simply did not believe it whatsoever. All right. I apologize. All right. He didn't get it. Opie in Silent Hill. All right. Fair enough. I apologize to you, man. Yeah, this does remind me of Silent Hill. One of the games I used to play, I used to love Silent Hill. I would turn off all the lights in my apartment in Huntington and play Silent Hill, the music, the fog. God, I love that game. Absolutely. Okay, I apologize to you. I'm sorry. I came in a little hot. Because we've had some situations over the years. We've had problems over the years. We had a problem recently that I can't talk about publicly that they're looking into. But so we're a little on edge, and we come in hot. We take that stuff very, very seriously. But I should have got your little joke, the Silent Hill with the fog in the background. All right, fair enough. I apologize. See, we can work it out here. Brian Parnes with the Sunday Fun Day. Yes. Smash the likes. Yes, that would be nice. Hit the likes. Throw fivers at me. Click on something. That's our mantra here. Keeps me motivated to continue doing these live streams. All right. I wonder what Bobo's doing now. No idea. Haven't seen the guy in, I don't know, at least 10 years probably at this point. Hope you heard about the new movie about a little fish with cancer. God, no. What's that about, Minash? I didn't hear about that one. I miss Patrice so damn much. Dude's a prophet, LOL. Oh, my God, his stuff is still relevant today. There's not a lot of comedians that stop either performing or, unfortunately, they leave us and their material lives on. You got to think George Carlin. You got to think Bill Hicks. You got to think Patrice O'Neill. Those are some of the guys where their material just lives on past them. It's amazing. John Courts, $4.99, fivers, likes, and download something. Thank you, John. John, we got a connection. You're from Philly, and I got some Philly people up here. We got some churchgoers right now. Got a few people in the house. They're going to church right now. And then it's always awkward because I'm like, Can you bring back bagels on your way back from the church? It's always awkward when people around you go to church and you don't go to church anymore. But look, I'm not judging. Of course not. I worship the Lord in other ways, in more of a spiritual nature. If you want to know the truth, that's just pathetic. Wanting to cause harm if someone doesn't like you, childish behavior. Well, yeah, it's not fun. Oh, it's called Finding Chemo. Oh, my God, Minash. Minash with the dad joke. Bravo to Minash and his dad joke on a Sunday morning, a foggy Sunday morning. So we have a situation at the beach. Q, Leonard Skinner. Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell that smell? The smell that's all around you. Whiskey bottles, brand new car. Oh, now I gotta listen to some Leonard Skinner after this. Yeah, we have a situation at the beach, and it's an ongoing situation, and it's creeping a lot of people out up and down the beach. And basically, the story goes, you need Jesus, Opie. He loves you. I got my spirituality, Jeffrey Martin. You don't tell me how to get my Jesus. I get my Jesus, another way. All right? I don't like organized religion. If you like the organized religion, God bless you. I'm not judging you, whatever works for you. But I will say that alien creature, what's his name, down there, I forgot his name, the guy that looks like an alien, he's a phony, taking your money. I forgot his name. The dude that looks like an alien. Oh my God, I forgot his name because I hate his guts. He's in the big arena that Osteen. Thank you, Danny. I don't trust the old Steen at all, taking everybody's hard-earned money. And, and then begging and pleading for more and more money as his houses are just complete insanity. What he's using your money for. But what? He says, look, I'm doing such a service. I need to take a nice giant chunk of all the donations so I can live like a billionaire. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he certainly looks like he lives like one. Oh, my God, I hate that guy. He's such a phony, in my opinion, because I don't want to be sued by the Osteen. Anyone from the old compound call you looking for work? I don't know, Ken. I'm not a dabbler. I'm not in the compound world. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just trying to find my own lane here. I'm on my own little island, and every once in a while someone swims to my island and hangs out with me. But I'm not attached to the Dabbleverse. I'm not attached to the compound. I'm not attached to the Anthony. So no one from that world has called me, and I don't expect them to call me. Don't usually get into this stuff, but the drama with compound media is interesting, to say the least. Crazy. All right, I wouldn't know anything about that, Mr. Brian Parnas. But look, if it entertains you, that's all good, right? Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. All right, so we have a situation way out here on Long Island. We're all enjoying. This was you lose track of time. It was like it was like 2 days ago. The waves have been absolutely insane. The fishing has sucked, but we're still having a wonderful, wonderful time. And all of a sudden, he looks like the effing devil. He's a weird looking dude. The Osteen? Yeah, I think so. And then Oprah had, the Osteen on her podcast, and she's praising him about all the good he's been doing for humanity. And I'm like, God, they're all a bunch of phonies. The guy's got just the best cars, the best mansions, multiple mansions. He's got private jets. He owns his own arena. And the one time they needed that arena back in the day, he locked his doors. And this Oprah's praising this guy. I'm like, they all just what happens? You get just enough fame and enough money, and then you just live in a completely different world from everybody else, I guess. PFG TV is back, and Scorch wants you. Okay, thank you. I don't know. I'm not in the Scorch world. I'm not in the Dabbleverse. I'm not in the Stuttering John world. I'm not in the Anthony world. I'm not in the compound media world. I'm not in the world where you snipe people and beat the shit out of them day in and day out. I know a lot of that stuff is doing good numbers, so good for you. But I'm in none of those worlds. Hope you're broadcasting from a Stephen King book, my dude. Well, if I was broadcasting from a Stephen King book, this live stream would have to go on for 3 straight days. You get it? He's a bit wordy. Oh, my God. I used to like the Stephen King. And look, there's people that now don't like the Stephen King because of his politics. I don't care. The damn guy was a damn good writer. But my problem with the Stephen King was he was a bit on the wordy side. I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Move on to the next scene in this book. I get it. He needed a good editor. But what do I know? He fucking rocked it in his career, right? Wise not to trust Joel Osteen. Biblically grounded churches, pastors are critical of his preaching. Oh, good. All right, I like hearing that. You need a target fluke in the surf now. Action all day. But all right. Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind catching a fluke or two and then cutting it up for some fresh sushi, some sushi for everybody. That would be nice. You're in high demand, Hope. Just accept it. Yeah, I know. I get people literally requesting me every day to be on their live streams. I say no to all of them. I say no to all of them. WISP DB Radio, F Harpo, F Osteen, F Compound Media. Well, I'm just reading this. Jesus, F everything, including the Hawk 2 bitch, the Hawk 2 bitch, who was obviously she's now looked at as a slut, I guess. And I think supposedly she lost her job or something. It was so obvious she was just trying to have fun. She was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, we're getting some scripture here on a Sunday, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. 17. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But how you get to that point is none of your business, none of anyone's business. Right? That's what I think. They bastardize our religion. They bastardize our Jesus. They bastardize our Lord and Savior. They bastardized the God. That's the problem with organized religion. Bastardized the whole damn thing. I think religion started as more of a spiritual thing, spirituality, and then it was bastardized and commercialized. And then they had like this man, right? Then they had like put his 2 cents into the whole thing over and over again. Well, who the hell are you? Why are you making up the rules? Did you get some message from God, or are you just making up rules now because you're the guy in power? Well, I don't know, man. We don't know crap. That's what it comes down to. For my sermon on this Sunday, we don't know crap. We literally don't know crap. Amen, Sarah says. Amen. All right, so 2 days ago, the beach was pretty packed because, we got a long 4th of July weekend here. A lot of people started on like Thursday. It'll end today finally, and a lot of these farmers will go home and give back our community to the regular summer people. But we're all out there. We're fishing. We're cranking tunes. Having a beer or two. Nothing crazy. Playing a little bago. Throwing the frisbee around. I told you we played a little kickball. Throwing the football and frisbee around. It was just a wonderful, wonderful day. Hold on, I got to grab Menashe's 70s R's from South Africa. Your trolls baffle me. You're a multimillionaire, great beach house, world famous, met celebs, and those guys have the nerve to criticize you. Let's see their apartment at Beach House. Thank you, Menashe, king of the Zaz. Thank you. I'm still doing it. I was way more popular, way more famous, made way more money. But, what am I going to do? I still enjoy doing this. Thank you, brother. It's jealousy. It comes down to jealousy, or it comes down to people wish they had the balls to at least even try. But they were too scared to try. So the next best thing is to rip down and tear apart the people that are doing it. It couldn't be more obvious. Yeah, I took some psychology classes in college. I know like psychology 101. Hey, Opie, here's something. When you're going to brag that you know psychology, you might want to know how to say the word properly. Right, guys? Hell yeah. All right, I'm a little tired, though. Come on. We had to plant our whole garden in front of the house again because of the guy that ripped up everything because he didn't understand that I only wanted him to weed the front of the house. And in turn, he thought I said rip everything out. I don't know why you would rip everything out. Everything was fresh and blooming. It was beautiful. It was the weeds that were in the way. Look out the window. And he's just, because these things have been growing for years. So the roots on these things. So he's just fucking yanking away all our hard work. So we had to redo the whole thing yesterday. So I might be a little tired. I got blisters on my hand. Like a working man. Hell yeah. Like a working man. Hey, man, I've been doing psychology since I was 18. That's right. 100%. That's right. Breaking news, Jake turned on me. He DM'd me and said, F you. And now he's calling me fake. And he's saying Anna's better than me. Jake, get on your meds, bro. I didn't do anything to you. He DM'd me and just said F you and blocked me. Because I was trying to get him on the live stream the other day, right? And it started out very, very slow. I think there was a Wi-Fi issue. So I basically said, look, it takes Jake a little time to get rolling, which is the truth. But I would have never had Jake on my live stream if I didn't think he brought it. But with this new thing I'm trying to like have these live streams really just move really, really quickly and then throw them on my podcast feed, Opie Radio. I don't have time. So if something's not working, I got to move on. And that's what I did with Jake. And somewhere in his silly head, he thought I was, I don't know, dissing him or something. And he gave me a big FU on the DM and blocked me. So Jake, I don't have time for that garbage. I did nothing to you. I've been nothing but nice and kind to you. That's why I'm not a dabbler. That's why I'm not a guy, throwing this on just to beat up stuttering John. I don't have time for all the nonsense. Literally zero. Ooh, that smell. Okay, so let's get back to the story and the reason I turned this on for real. So we're having a lovely beach day. Jay Warren, I'm distracted because I'm grabbing fivers and memberships and everything else. Member for 12 months. 12 months, my man's skull. Wow, Jay, thank you. He's been supporting me for 12 months. Thank you, Jay. Greatly appreciate ye. Don't do this to me. I'll just throw that up there. And I'll throw this up there. Hey, Aldo, being funny today. All right, that's good. No, Jay, thank you to you. Okay, so I was having a glorious beach day with family and friends. We were fishing and throwing the football, throwing the frisbee, doing a little bago. The tunes were cranking, and my neighbors are out catching up with people, just having an awesome day, awesome afternoon. And then all of a sudden, ooh, that smell! Can't you smell that smell? And at the same time, everyone starts looking at each other like, do you smell that? What the hell is that? And if you're fortunate enough to live in a beach community, you know all the smells. You know the smell of a rotting fish. You know the smell because, a lot of stuff washes up onto the beach and you smell it. You smell the dead birds. You smell the dead fish. It's not pleasant, but it's manageable. And you just know. You get the local knowledge. You understand all that, right? So everyone at the same time is like, what is that smell? We're looking at each other. We're looking up and down the beach like this. It smells like something we've never smelled before being out here. And my daughter happened to be in the water, even though the waves were a little rough, but she was staying pretty close to shore. And then she yells to me, she goes, Daddy, what is that? What is that? And already, we were smelling this smell. So a bunch of us got up. And in the water was a lot of whitewash and big waves. But in the water, that was smelling up the whole beach. This thing was probably a good 20, 25 yards out, and we could smell it on the beach. That is like something different and unusual. And, we're trying to get a glimpse of this thing, and it's a big blob, just a big blobby thing. And then someone goes, oh, it looks like it's a jellyfish. I go, that's no jellyfish, man, because then a couple more waves hit it in such a way you could tell it wasn't a jellyfish. It was very blobby. Like blubber almost, right? And the smell was so horrendous. And now the waves are starting to bring it into shore. We're like, oh my God, we're about to find out what this smell is. And it's definitely not a regular, dead fish. This is something very, very different. Long story short, it got close enough, but we could only see the blob. It was kind of like a beige white blob. And then the waves kind of started taking it back out to the ocean. And long story short, we don't know what this was. But I got to be honest with you, we've never smelled anything like this before in our lives. And obviously, the cops were called because they come on their ATVs and they're slowly going up and down the beach trying to find this thing because the smell was not right. Now, I'm thinking it was definitely not a fish. I'm thinking it might have been like a piece of a whale, maybe that died in the ocean and got ripped apart, and maybe a big chunk of the whale started making its way to the shoreline. We're thinking it might have been a dead seal, but it was hard to make it out. We're just hoping it wasn't, anything besides those two things. Let's just put it that way. And now we got a situation out here, and they're trying to figure it out. They even got a couple boats in the water to try to find this thing, but I haven't got an update today, but no one knows what it was. Everyone knows it was different. Everyone knows it was a smell they've never smelled before, and that's where we're at today as we try to figure it out. But the whole community out here, we're not going to lie to you, we're a little creeped out because we all know it was a little different. Cue someone online. It's your career. It's your career you were smelling. Ooh, ooh, that smell. Hey, Mike Berger Jr., how are you, brother? Good to see you. Jay and I are buds from a different chat. All right, there you go. Thank you, Colt C. I like the Colt C as well. Hey, Hope, it's been years since I've listened to you. I will be praying for you. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Jeffrey Martin. I appreciate that. I don't know if I want just some regular Joe praying for me, though. How does that work? Go light a candle for me, all right? Thank you. Danny, I'm going to sing that S day now. All day now, you're going to be singing the Leonard Skinner. Ooh, that smell. Well, if you're going to do that, you got to go right to Give Me Back My Bullets. Oh, the grind of that song. Give me back my bullets. Oh, it's such a great song. Such a great. No kickball? No, dude. It was one and done. I told you I retired from the kickball because I was lining up the ball and then it took a stupid bounce because the sand isn't smooth. And then I try to adjust and I think I popped a vertebrae or a disc, I should say. No kickball for the kid. Jim Florentine was the best. Will you have him on? Yeah, I would love to have the Florentine on. 100 on that. Did you think it was E-Rock? Oh, Jay Warren. Leave E-Rock alone. Dead migrant. I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is for something to smell that bad and it's still in the ocean, we're smart enough out here to know that's not just regular. That's something else. That is just something else. The smell was so bad. It was really, really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. You know, some smells you're like, oh, that sucks. Yeah, all right. This is the type of smell that just violates you to your bone. To your bone. It's a dead whale, you're thinking, Mike Bergen? That's my guess, because it was very, just blubbery. It didn't look like it had a solid thing to it, meaning bones or anything. It was very just blobby. So my gut says it was a piece of a whale that died out there and got, when the whales die, man, the sharks come and they just feed on the whale for days. My buddy Chris, aka Fish Guy Photos, he's gotten some good drone footage of sharks tearing into like a dead whale. Holy crap! They feast for days, and they're ripping parts off the whale, and then obviously those parts got to make it to shore eventually, right? Hell yeah. Maybe a finback or humpback. That's the only whales we get up here. No, man, I saw some right whales, Mr. Bergen Jr. Right whales are very, very rare. There's only a couple hundred in the entire world, and we had a mother and a calf right out there. I got a picture of it, matter of fact, because I called Chris, my friend, Fish Guy Photos. He knew right away it was a right whale because I told Chris, I'm like, Chris, these whales aren't moving at all. They're kind of staying in the same space. Do they look healthy? I'm like, really healthy? He goes, oh my God, I'll be right there. He knew. Because the reason why the right whales are close to extinction is they move very, very slowly. They slowly make it all the way up to, I think, Maine. And then they try to have babies up there, calves or whatever. But supposedly they got to be pregnant for over 2 years. That's the other problem. And they just get hit by boats all the time. And a lot of the marine biologists, they already know that, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to save the right whale because it would take too much money to protect them. Like every time there's a sighting, you would literally have to have people 24 hours a day making sure the boats and everything stay away from them. So they just know how we live now in society. It's just a matter of time before the right whale is extinct. That is just sad. Ooh, that smell. Is there another smell song? Smells like Teen Spirit, of course. No, it didn't smell like Teen Spirit, no. It smelled like old grandma's, you know what? Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. What's up, Donald? Good morning from Chicago. All right. How are you? How's Chicago? Went up there once, maybe twice. I'm trying to remember. Maybe we were up there twice. I liked it. I liked the Chicago. I liked it a lot. Breaking news: Joe Biden just lost to an envelope. That's coming in on the wire. I guess the Democrats are getting together. They're having some kind of online meeting to figure out what to do with this knucklehead Joe Biden. He's being defiant. They're basically telling him behind the scenes, look, you got to step down, and it's going to be up to him. They can't just yank him. He has to decide to step down. And they're saying that he's a bit stubborn. But the top Democrats are going to be meeting on a Zoom call today to try to figure out what the hell to do with the Biden. You can't lose to an envelope. You can't lose to an envelope. All you have to do is lick that sucker. You can't do that. Whales explode too. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's a phenomenon where a beach whale, you leave it long enough, the gases keep expanding inside the whale, and next thing you know, there's no more room, and the whole thing just goes kablooey. Yes, it does. Oh, wow. Right whales. Dang, that's rare. Oh, you know about the right whales. Yeah. And we get many species of whales on Long Island. Yeah, I don't know. I have to ask Chris about that. But all I know is the whales came back to Long Island out of nowhere because they're feeding off the bunker pods. Bunker pods came back big time. They're the oily, gross fish that swim in these giant schools to the point they're so crowded next to each other, there's no water almost. They have no room. And everything feeds off the bunker pods in the ocean, and that brought back the whales. So they call the right whale. They call it the right whale, excuse me, because they were easy to kill. Yeah, they were slow moving. So back in the day, they're like, oh, what's up with these whales? We can get these whales nice and easy. Okay, they were called the right whale because it was the right whale to kill. They swim close to the shoreline, and so it was an easy, slow-moving target. I got it. Boom, Mike Berger Jr. Yeah, with the whales exploding? Hell yeah. Probably a whale that was hit by a ship. That blubber stinks with the oil and the heat. Oofa. Yeah, I'm hoping that's all it was, but they are definitely investigating. Unfortunately, it did come close to shore, and then all of a sudden we watched it sort of like, oh, is it going to come all the way in? No, now it's starting to go back out. So at this point, it might be way down the beach this way. So whatever. I'll be checking the news. Let's just put it that way, making sure it's not anything too crazy. Which species of whale is Bobby Kelly? No, you didn't, big boss. No, you didn't. I thought he lost the weight. Is Bobby on the Ozempic? I haven't seen Bobby in person, but I've run into Ozempic people. It's creepy. They're pretty much dripping. When you look at them, you're like, oh, you're on Ozempic. Not impressed. You weren't putting down the hot dogs and all the fried food. You just went Ozempic. I'm not impressed. Not impressed with your weight loss. Sorry. And your face looks like it's dripping off its body. Maybe you went Ozempic. I don't know. You said it was brown and gelatinous, correct? Sounds like a seal to me. Well, there you go, Brian Pars. I hope you're right. But the smell, I know I keep harping on it, but the smell, it was in the water and we were smelling it. And up and down the beach, everyone's looking around like, what the hell is that? It was that dramatic. Minash is keeping this live stream, going with his czars. John Courts threw a little something. Thank you, John. Minash, king of the czars, right whale because it's a fat wife. Always right. Minash, you're on fire today. You're on fire today. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, I got one other thing. I like telling you about the mundane stuff that's going on out here. And then when I get back to the city, it'll be get parts again, and it'll be, action packed. But out here, it's very slow moving, which I like. Really like. I like the contrast of my life. City, action packed, crazy energy, and then out here it's really, really slow. Bobby had surgery. Lap band or Staples did it for his family. All right, right on, man. I ain't gonna. That's good, man. Good for Bobby. I like that. 14 czars is 77 cents. I know, PFG TV fan, but what if did you give your 77 cents? The fact is, PFG TV fan, as you make fun of the Minash, if everybody gave me 77 cents, I wouldn't be bitching about the price of the soil I bought yesterday. So, like the update is, and I said it earlier too, but hired my friend's guy to do a whole bunch of stuff around the house. When you live at the ocean, everything's rusting out, and you need a guy to go through and fix this and that. And one of the things was to rip up the weeds in the front of the house. And we have some nice plants, nothing too crazy because the deer. Anything you plant, the deer goes, oh, look at this salad. Thank you. And they just eat everything. So you got to find stuff that the deer don't like. And so the weeds were getting out of control. So I had my friend's guy come over for the day, and he misunderstood me when I said, could you weed the front a little bit, And he ripped out everything. He thought I meant to rip out everything. So now we have to replace everything, obviously, right? So my wife and my mother-in-law and my daughter and my son, they went and got all sorts of plants, new plants to replace the ones that were ripped out by this guy. They were beautiful, too. Everything was in full bloom. That's what I don't understand. But whatever. What are you going to do? No one's perfect, right? So then they came back with some mulch, and I'm like, no, we need some topsoil, man. We need some topsoil, man. We got the good stuff. We got to do this right. So me and my father-in-law jumped in the car, and we went looking for the topsoil, and I ran into this guy who was really, really cool. Really cool. And he's selling me on the good stuff. And then, when someone sells you on the good stuff and you're with somebody else, you're like, oh, now I'm going to look cheap if I say, no, I just want the cheap stuff. I'm like, oh, God, oh, fine. And he casually says it's $28 a bag. $28? We needed 6 of them. What? Does anyone remember when you needed dirt back in the day? You just kind of found dirt and you just kind of filled up a couple wheelbarrows or something in the back of your truck. No one paid for dirt. We come from a time we didn't pay for dirt. We didn't pay for water. What the hell's going on in this new world? So I'm thinking to myself, $28 for dirt, 6 bags. This doesn't count all the plants we just bought and the mulch and everything, and the tools and everything else to redo the front of our house because the guy ripped out everything because he misunderstood. And this is the funny part about life. So the guy, he was really, really cool. And he's like, man, I got to tell you, he says. This is after he told me, the dirt's $28 a bag. He's like, the cost of everything's driving me nuts, he says. I'm like, this is what? And then he goes, I've been out here for a million years. And I got, 5 kids. So he said, I went to the bagel store. We got 7 bagels. And it cost me well over $100. That's just crazy. Isn't that crazy to spend over $100 on 7 bagels? And I'm looking at the guy like, you just told me my soil's going to be $28 a bag. How do you bring up this discussion now that your bagels are too expensive? Aren't you doing the exact same thing to me? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's crazy. All right. Oh my God. It's like paying $28 for a bag of soil. Huh? Oh, I'm just kidding with you. And we had a good laugh. Oh, the laugh was fun as I'm handing over my credit card. Oh, we're just laughing and laughing and laughing as he's ka-chinging me right in front of my face. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Thanks for the live stream. Enjoy your Sunday. Oh, John, you're calling it, I guess? Yeah, we could call it. That's fine. That's fine. We could call it. Ooh, that fog behind me is pretty wild, though, isn't it? I thought it would have burned off by now. Yo, what's up, brother? Who's winning in November, Biden or Trump? All right, I'm going to tell you who's gonna win in November, and it's not based on who I like because I don't like either guy. But I think at this moment in time, like I just reported, breaking news: Biden lost to an envelope yesterday. He can't even figure out the envelope at this point. So I give the edge to the Trump. As we sit here today, I think Trump's got this thing. Yes, I do. That's why the Democrats are getting together today. They're doing an online thing to try to figure out what the hell they're going to do. No need to end the live. What else do you have to do? What are you, Minash? I still got to pull up the weeds in the driveway. Because he didn't even pull up all the weeds. He didn't pull up all the weeds. What else do I got? And I still got to walk the Woogie. He's got to get out there. Hopefully, we won't run into the blubber on the shore. That's the creepy thing about living at the ocean too, man. Every morning when you go for that walk, you don't know what you're gonna find. You don't know. Oh, my Wi-Fi just went down. You don't know what washed up overnight. Dude, for real, my Wi-Fi just went crappy. So I think I am going to envelope this. Yeah, I think I'm going to envelope this. Envelopes will F you up. Yeah, we know that. It's not an easy thing to navigate. But most of us figure out the envelope. But, the breaking news is Biden lost to an envelope yesterday. So that's very concerning to me as a voter. As a voter that doesn't vote. Did you ever have Trump in studio? No, only on the phone many, many times there. TMC, the Don. All right, I want to go. No, I'll tell you why I really want to go. The neighbors are up. I yell and scream about this and that, and then all of a sudden they start waking up, and they hear me. My father-in-law is like, don't your neighbors hear you just yelling and screaming in the morning? I'm like, yeah, they do. It's one thing when they're listening, in their houses, but then they pop out onto the deck, and then it starts getting awkward. So that's the real reason I think I'm going to end. Have a good day, everyone. Heading to the beach right now for the first time this year. Oh, Cliff, enjoy, man. I hope you have better weather than us. It's 72 degrees and a lot of moisture, a lot of fog in the air for us. Can always count on Opie to provide quality conversation. I hope this was good, DKCG0113. I hope you become a regular around here. We know the new people. You seem new. So I hope you continue checking these out. Guy with You're a Cool Guy. Thank you, sir. Your neighbors know you're on a live show? Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, they watch in their homes. Dude, this is a very small community. They watch in their homes. They reference the live stream. So, that's kind of weird, too. That was the beauty of doing radio. You turn on the mics, no one sees you. You don't know who really is listening. But out here, it's like, oh, my neighbors are watching this right now. They're looking at their screen going, yup, we sure are. Be careful. Rip currents are really bad. We will. Thank you, Jimmy. People don't understand rip currents of the ocean, man. They are very, very scary. And they can pull you out into the ocean really, really fast. And not pull you out a little bit, pull you way out quickly. We lose a couple every year on Long Island to rip currents. Excuse me. And the thing to do, I've been in rip currents. And even though this is the thing to do, your mind doesn't want to listen. The reason why people die in rip currents is because they try to swim against the rip current and they get exhausted, and that's it. What you're supposed to do, let the rip current pull you out. It'll kind of like get to a point where it's no more pulling. No, it's not pulling you out anymore. Excuse me. The coffee's kicking in. I had 4 cups today, which is way too much for me. And then at that point, then you start swimming parallel to shore until you feel like you're completely out of the rip current, and then you swim back. But man, when you're stuck in a rip current, the only thing you're thinking is, I want my toes on the sand below me, and you just swim like a lunatic, like your life depends on it. And the problem is that's how a lot of people lose the battle to the rip currents. All right? All right. You have the most classic radio show, and with Patrice was great. Thank you, Guy. Yeah, it was certainly one for the ages, and it's very, very hard to compete against my old show. It's my burden in life. So they know about my kickball skills? Yeah, they sure do. They sure do. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to go. Guys, thank you. If you gave me a few bucks, you really didn't. You know. That's all right. You've only been hearing my voice for over 40 years. You know, it's okay. It's okay you didn't give me a couple bucks. What am I going to do? At least hit the like on the way out. And I'll be uploading stuff all day long, here and there. Could you goddamn click on something? Sorry, I shouldn't have said the goddamn thing, because first of all, it didn't make sense in that sentence. And second of all, it's the day of the Lord. So I shouldn't have said that. So can I take that back, please? Can I take that back, God? Thank you. God, if you're hearing this, can you give me a sign? Cue seagull crapping on my head. Good God. I think you could say good God, though.